Hello my dear students, welcome back to the lecture. In this lecture we'll try to understand how the column starter has to be placed. First we'll try to understand with the help of a PPT, and then of course we'll try to understand through our practical videos, right? So one thing you need to concentrate here, right? So if you remember, we had done the casting of a slab up to here. Right now we are trying to prepare this column starter, and then we'll put this column, then of course the beam bottom and all. The same procedure is going to happen. Now the one important question is that how we are going to decide the starter here, right? See, we have two ways. I'll tell you the first way, which is very simple. When we work in the bigger companies, like I mentioned, let us, for that matter, let us say LNT, FCons, whatever it may be. So again, you are going to call in the surveyor. The surveyor is going to give you that marking, right? If you have a column of 4.1 here, second, third and fourth, and it's very simple job. You need to connect all the 4 dots. Your column is ready. But since even though the building is very big, what we are looking at now, but since it is putting up, since it's in a local place, we are not getting the surveyor. The mason or the, let us say, the carpenter, these people only are going to fix the starter frame, right? So we'll see that how exactly it has to be done. I'll give you a small idea here. For example, we'll start in this way. Yeah, so you can see here, let us say this was a slab which I had casted and I want to do a starter frame for this. So what I'm supposed to do, this we'll start in this. I'll explain it for this. Okay, let us say this was a slab which we had already casted. I want to do the slab, this thing, the column starter marking here. So what we are supposed to do from here, from this point, okay, I'll try to keep one rebar, something like this, and then I'll attach a stone or a plumb bob to that. Let us consider I'm attaching a stone to that. Okay, so I'll try to drop it in this way. Got it? And now what I'm supposed to do, I'll come to this floor, because this floor already we have done the slab casting, right? I'll try to measure the distance from this column to this thread, like whatever the thread I dropped it here, from there I'll try to measure the distance. For example, let us consider, I'll show you through a video also, but now try to understand here, so that in the video it's very simple for us. From here to here I measure the distance, and let us say I got 100 mm. So when I go here, from here also I'll try to measure it. I need to get 100 mm. So the moment I get 100 mm, that means this itself is the ending point of my column. Got my point? This itself is the ending point of my column, and I'm going to place my starter frame there. Got it? So from this outer face of the starter frame to this, it has to be 100 mm. Only then I can say that this column outer edge, that is in the, let us say, first floor, and the ground floor column edge, they're at the same distance, right? That is why we are taking that 100 mm. See, this 100 mm and all, I'm giving example. On the site, you can take 200 mm as a measurement. Anything is okay. Instead of keeping it here, for example, instead of tying that particular thread here, you can even bring the thread here, and now the distance may be 80 mm. So in the ground floor also you should get 80 mm, and whatever you are getting in there also it has to be 80 mm. Only then this column will be straight. Otherwise what will happen, in the ground floor it is here, by the time you came to the first floor, your column might have tilted in this way. I don't want that to happen. It has to be exactly straight, right? So that is why we try to do this alignment. I hope this much points are clear to you, right? Yeah. Now, yeah. So you can see it here, no? You see here, we have placed the starter frame here, isn't it? Here also you can see all the starter frame. All these are a column reinforcement. You can see the starter frame placed here. Here also we have placed. Here also we have placed. Again you can see this is my starter frame, isn't it? This is also my starter frame. Here already the concreting has been done. You can see here how the alignment has been done. With the help of a line, we'll try to do that alignment. All that thing we'll see it through a video. Now just understand the concept up to here. Yeah. So now we'll start with the video. Yeah. So just observe whatever this guy is doing. Like I mentioned, first is trying to tie that particular thread. Okay. Already you can see. Yeah, so this is what he has done. Okay, from here he has dropped one line, one thread from here, and he'll go right now we are in the first floor, he'll go to the ground floor, and ground floor already the column has been casted. From the outer face of the ground floor column, I will try to measure this distance, that is from here to here, this line. Let us say I got some 200 mm, then I'll come here, then from here I'll measure 200 mm. From here I'll measure from this line here. Let us say I got 200 mm somewhere here. Wait, let me go back. Yeah, let us say from here I got 200 mm somewhere here, right? So this is my end point. Then what I'm supposed to do? Very simple. Then I'm going to keep my starter frame starting from here. when I keep my starter frame, the outer face of my starter frame will be here. Got it? And similarly I'll going to keep it here. Got it? Then one more will come here, and then one more is going to come here. This way will go. Got it? Your starter frame is ready. Again, whatever is this outside edge, no, this outside edge, and let us say I have one more column here, right? You are getting my point? We have one column here in the ground floor, so beneath this we'll have one more column. Let us say I have one more column here in the ground floor, so beneath this we have another column. Now ground floor, one column to two column, whatever is the distance, let us say if it is 10 meter, then I'll make sure the outer frame, I'll make sure from this starter outer to this column outer it is 10 meter, because ground also it was 10 meter, right? Here also I'll make 10 meter. Only then I can say the outer to outer distance of the column is 10 meter, right from the beginning to the end of the floor. You're getting my point? This is how you have to do the column alignment. One is on the left side we'll try to do, and also on the right side also we'll try to do. That means left and right means from here to here and from here to here. That's it, and your column starter will be ready. Okay, one more thing. So all this problem would not have occurred if you're calling the surveyor, but since surveyor will take like 6,000 to 8,000 rupees per day to do all this marking, if you're working in a big company, of course we'll be having a surveyor at our hands all the time. Since it's a small since like I mentioned, we are not working in a very big company right now, but always this method are good. We need to understand the fundamentals, only then we can do all those things. Yeah, now if you had called in the surveyor would have given you this outer. Okay, the surveyor would have given this column outer from here, the surveyor would have given you the column outer here, and the surveyor would have given you this column outer. Got it? Very simple. Once he gives that, with the help of one labor, what I can do, I can directly try to fix in that line. Quickly we'll do that. From here to here I have to do that, from here to here I have to do it, right? And I'll try to match this and this, and then I'll try to match this and this. Got it? Your column starter is ready. You don't have to do all this circus like I did now, right? So that is the best way to do, but again, like I mentioned, it's for the very same reason we are not doing it. Yeah, I'm showing you a mix of all the videos. Okay, see, like I mentioned, okay, I'll go a bit backward. Observe here. Yeah, observe it here. Like I mentioned, no, see here what this guy has done. From here there is one thread, from here to here we'll measure the distance. Similarly on this side also there is a thread. Okay, similarly from here to here we'll measure it. If you had a column here, no issues. If you don't have a column, no issues. Okay, but that is a concept what you're supposed to adopt. Got it? That was the thing. Now he came to the ground floor. Like I mentioned, this was already a column which we had casted from the plinth beam to the first floor, right? Yeah, so he's trying to measure the distance from the outer face of the column to the thread what we had dropped from the top. So let us say he's getting some distance there. We'll consider, for our understanding, we'll consider it is 2 meter. Yeah, it looks like a 2 meter distance for me. Okay, whatever he has measured, no, both the side he is measuring. Okay, one on the right, one on the left. This distance also is measuring. It looks like 78 inches. Okay, 78 inches comes out to be all roughly around 12, 24, 36, 48, around 5 to 6 feet. So this guy has a pen in his hand, he'll write it down. Okay, whatever is that distance. Yeah, it is almost 78 inches, right? 76, 70, 78. So 12 5 is 60. 12 7 is 72, almost comes out to be 6 feet 5 inches, because 1 feet is 12 inches, it is 78 inches. 12 6 is 72. Yeah, so now they came to the top floor. Got it? Whatever they did, now they come to the first floor top, and from here this guy will hold it. Let us say I wanted a 78 inches, right? So what this guy will do, from here he has kept the tape, from here to here, by the point where I reach 78 inches, he'll do a marking here, and we'll see that. Okay, now you see there what this guy has done. That is my 78 inch marking, and that will be the outer face of the column for this particular floor. Yeah, same thing you can see. Yeah, 74 75 76 he has done. Maybe there also had got the same thing. Now what is trying to do, this is a point what I got. I'll do it in this way. This is a point what I got. Very simple. What is the dimension of your column? Let us say this is my C1 column. I'm naming this as C1 column. C1 column. Let us say the size is 300 by 450. I'm taking a rough size. You can take anything. I mean, what's there in your drawing. Okay, wait. Yeah, 300 by 450. Okay, now we'll measure that. So this is 300, this is 450. From here to here I'll measure 350. Okay, and similarly from here to here I'll measure 450. Got it? Here also it is 450, and from here also here it is how much? 300. That's it. That's how you're supposed to do it. He's doing on the other side also. You got it? What is trying to do now? We did from here to here, we got this marking. Similarly from here to here also is doing that. They're trying to verify that now, maybe. Yeah, they're doing it for different columns. Okay, no issues. We try to see that, because there are so many columns, isn't it? It's not only for one column. Let us say in this particular building we have more than 45 to 50 columns. That's how they are doing it. Now they are doing that alignment of the starter frame. We did for one column we got, and in this way we'll try to do the alignment for all the columns. I want to put the starter, no, so that I can fix the starter frame. See, here you have done that marking, isn't it? You can see the white piece marking from here to here. This much big is your length of the column, I mean the entire area of the slab. So this alignment I am going to do, and when I keep my starter frame, I'll tell you what we are going to do. Got it? So this is my outer side. So when I keep the starter frame all the column, the outside of each of the starter frame, let us say this is my outside of the column, outside of the starter frame, this column outer, starter outer, this column starter outer, this column, it has to be in a straight line. So in order to get it in a straight line, I'm keeping that thread arrangement. Yeah, now we got an idea. See, he has fixed the starter frame. We'll see how the fixing of a starter frame will happen. We already seen that, but try to understand this thing. This outer line outer and this outer has to be same, and throughout all the column this has to be maintained. Now it's very simple. This is a, let us say, a 300 mm, and from here to here it is 450 mm column size. Yeah, so they are keeping this rebar so that your starter frame is very rigid. Otherwise, like I mentioned, your starter frame may move here and there once you pour the concrete. To give a rigidity to that, we are trying to fix it in this way. they haven't put up this lateral dice. Actually they should have put up, and then yeah, now you see how he's trying to arrange. So again this is a plumb bob, okay, but the plumb bob will try to see whether this outer line and this column is, I mean this starter frame inside, okay, this frame and this line is exactly parallel, okay. So that is with the help of a plumb bob we'll try to see that. We've understood how to understand the plumb bob and all in all our previous lectures. Now he's trying to do that minor arrangement. Slight variation was there. We're trying to push it. This point and this point has to match. You can see the tip of this plumb bob, this point, and this line has to be vertical. Now I'm teaching it for one column starter. You have to do the same procedure. I mean not you, those people will do it for all the columns. Now they're keeping it a small stone, okay, so that it's very stiff there, it will not move here and there. Yeah, one more thing you need to understand. See, this work has to be done very nicely. I mean, exactly you need to do, because if you try to even shift this column by another, let us say 5 to 10 mm, by the time it reaches to the roof floor, your column will be something like this. Okay, so this is very important work. You should not deviate your column starter by 5 or 10 mm here and there. Right? It should not happen. In some when we I mean in most of the construction company, when you don't follow this, what will happen when the surveyor is going to come and give the starter frame marking, you will not give the you will not get the cover in the sense. See, now exactly if you remember, we have to give a 40 mm cover, right, from this outer face, that is from the stirrup outer face to here. It has to be 40 mm for me. I should get 40 mm here also. I should get 40 mm, 40 mm, 40 mm and 40 mm. Sometimes what will happen, if you are not properly done all these things, when placing the cover block, if the cover block was not given correctly, your column might have tilted something like this. By the time you put the starter frame, you will not get cover only. That means when I say you don't get any cover, it means that the starter frame will be almost close to this, it will be somewhere like this. Put in this way, it will be something like this. You can see this outer edge, what you can see, no, this outer, I mean this inside edge, it will be very close to this column reinforcement. And what has happened, you are not getting cover at all, right? So then again, we don't have any other option. What few people do is they do this joggle in the sense, from here your bar will go straight, from here they'll give a bend like this and they'll take to the top, because they wanted a cover. So again, this is not the right practice to be done. All these things you can see in most of the construction, people do all these things. They try to juggle all the rebars, something like this, got it, something like this, which is not, because the load transfer will not happen, because I already bent the bar. And also when you do the lapping, it's the code says that you have to give that bend in 1:6, right? If you remember, it is there in the code book, 1:6. So here all these things are not acceptable, so that is why this work has to be done more precisely. Yeah, finally you can see how the starter frame has been fixed now. Already here in few of the places we have already put up the starter concrete. Putting starter concrete is very simple. This is what I wanted to tell. See, we have put up, I mean you can see all the starter concrete. Well, why did we tie that thread? That was just to make sure from this end to this end, your outer of the column is in a straight line, right? So that is why we had done all that thing, and that is how with the help of a plumb bob we were doing the arrangement. So everything is done. Your column reinforcement have been tied. The lateral ties are spaced at 200 center to center spacing. Look at this particular starter frame. Concrete is supposed to be filled here, but everything is correct. Now on all the 4 sides we are getting a clear cover. Yeah, we are getting. It has to be 40 mm. We have it. 40 mm, 40 mm, 40 mm. Okay, good. Here we already placed a starter. So this is for that G+4 building what I am showing. Okay, we have a basement, ground plus 4. Right now we are in the second floor. I mean, yeah, we are right now in the second floor. So on one side the curing is happening, one side the column reinforcement are being tied up, one side the starter frame are being placed. Yeah, you can see this thread, isn't it? How they have tied it. Yeah, see now, observe it here. Exactly, it's matching the outer and this starter outer. Okay, this itself will be a column outer once you place the column here. It's matching, isn't it? Everywhere we have done, throughout all the places where the column is supposed to come, this method is adopted. Yeah, again you can see the outer of the starter frame. Again I think these people have not arranged it, so only then it's going to match. Okay, yeah, I'll go a bit forward. Yeah, all these things we have seen. So again, this is not the right way to keep. Okay, I'll be teaching you the site management also in the due course of the time. All these rebars should not be placed in water. It is directly in contact with the water. Already there is a corrosion, right? All these things you have to properly store your materials. Since again it's a local construction, anything is okay for us. But in the bigger companies, you'll have a store manager, and then you'll be having a place to keep all this rebar. Okay, this is not the right way to do. You see, all the stirrups have been kept, and this is that cutout, you know that, right? We have seen in the drawing how the cutout. Of course on one side this de-shuttering is also happening, because since it is a very big slab what we are doing, no, we are trying whenever we get labors, we are trying to do de-shuttering in the meantime. And we know when this de-shuttering has to be done, it's outside of the beam, it's a vertical thing, it's called as shuttering. After 24 hours you can do the de-shuttering activity. Okay, look at the surface here. It's a very good surface, no honeycombs, no, we have got a very smooth surface and it's perfectly okay. Yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed the lecture up to here. In the next lecture I'll teach you how to keep the starter frame. We haven't seen that, but we have got an idea, but we'll see through a video and we'll try to understand all those things. So we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.